Alright, today guys what I've done here is this lesson will be put on Edmodo. So if you want to look back at this later on, it'll be there so you can actually watch it. Now, all these slides I did yesterday about that, about the histograms and those column graphs, all the other stuff are all on Edmodo so you can all have a look at them. Does that make sense? If you need to have a look at them. The last one we never saw was the 5-number summary stuff and the box plot. Okay, so just bear with me. Okay, 5-number summary is basically what you are seeing up on the screen right now. Too far, you long. Okay, just have to. 5-number summary. There are obviously 5 things that you are going to have to do. Minimum value and the maximum value. What do these two things, or where do they come from? To get those two, what are you going to have to do to start with?
Put them in order.
Yes, Jared.
How do you have windows on your iPhone?
My little secret.
Oh, and what's wrong with your finger?
I burnt my finger. I burnt my finger, right?
Did you?
Now, just remember, this is recording, so your questions, I'm going to play this back shortly. Okay, so, minimum value, maximum value. How are you going to find them? What's the very first thing you're going to actually have to do?
Put them in order.
Put it in order. You are exactly correct. So, in other words, all of your data must be in order. Oop, doesn't come out real flash, does it? Okay. Now, must be in order.
Don't blame it on the finger.
Now, I can blame a finger. I've got a dodgy finger. Okay. Q1, Q3. Do we all know how to do that now?
Yep.
Do you find Q1, Q3, or what should you find first?
5 numbers.
Okay, 5 numbers. No, you don't find your 5 numbers first. You find your minimum number first, number 1. Find your maximum, number 2. What's the third thing you'd find? The median, Q2. That's the third thing that you would find because that's the halfway point. What's the next thing you would find? Tegan, stop yawning. Stop yawning. Oh, I've said that. She's going to hear this. What is it going to find? Q1. Okay. Could we find Q3? Yeah, and the last thing you find is Q5. Q5? There's no Q5. Q3. Good to see you paying attention. Only one person. Okay, once you've found them. Let's move down. Can we move down? Yeah, it won't move. Okay. Let's move down. Let's get out of drawing mode.
Oh.
Can I get out of drawing mode? Exiting drawing. Okay. Right, let's move down a bit. Okay, graphical representation of your 5-number summary. Yeah, just got to move it down a bit. Okay. Here we go. Graphical representation. Whisker, box, etc., etc., etc. Okay, now we call them box whiskers for obvious reasons because they look like a box with 2 whiskers on the end. Now the important part in the whole important part in all of this is that this section here to there must be in scale. Okay, that's important. So in other words, if I had this, if that the lowest number was a number 1, my Q1 was a number 2, and my median was a number 5, and this was a number 10, and that was a number 11, I would tell you straight away that that is wrong. Why? It's not to scale, because the distance between these two here, between 1 and 2, is a distance of 1, but the distance between 2 and 5 is a distance of 3, and 3 and 1 do not equal each other. So the way you do this is quite simply, you just basically, you get a ruler. You get a ruler and you measure it, just like a number line. You put marks on it, you measure the number line, so you get your number line, just like I'd be doing something like this, and you measure it and you mark it in the appropriate places. The size of the box doesn't matter. It can be a nice skinny box, it can be a fat box, but what you generally do is you make the box look in proportion to the whiskers, okay? You wouldn't be drawing a box like that size with little skinny whiskers on the edges, okay? Looks ridiculous. Okay, so you draw stuff that actually makes sense. Okay. Now, I've got to get out of this mode here, exit drawing mode, and then I can go to my next part here. Okay, I can go down, keep going down. Okay, example. Okay, stem leaf plots. We did this yesterday, for those people who were here yesterday. If I can just move this down a bit, I'll be right. Okay, stem leaf plot shows the expectancies and years of 23 countries. Okay, now, gone too far, bit touchy. Here we go, now we're getting there. Okay, you can have a look at this. When you've got your box plot, when you've got your stem whisker plot, what does 5, 2 mean, please, Jack?
52.
52. What does 7, where's it got the M with the Q2 on it, what's it referring to there?
73.
73, but also referring to what though? The median. How do we know that's the median? Because if we count them up, there is one, I've got to go back to my drawing mode again. Okay, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 on one side and 11 on the other side. So that one there is dead smack in the middle. Who would agree with that? Very simple to do a 5-number summary from a stem and leaf plot. Okay, so if that is the median, that 3, how do I get this one here? How do I get that one there? How do I get Q1 there? Well, I do half. I just look at these numbers here, would you agree? And go halfway with those numbers. Some people like doing this. Cross off, 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 cross off. What do I have to add the 3 in? No, I don't add the 3 in. Ah, there's one on this there. There we go. I missed the one underneath. And therefore, that becomes my median. And I do the exactly same thing for the top half. Does that make sense?
But how can Q1 be bigger than Q2?
No, it's not. Because that Q1 is actually 66. Q2 is actually 73. And this one down here, Q3, is actually, looks like must be 85. Okay?
Oh, 75.
75?
Yeah.
Because, yes, they've got the... they do it up going up by 5s, aren't they? By the way, when you look at these numbers here, 52... In fact, what I'll do is I'll do my 5-number summary. 52. What's the next one? 66. 73. 75. And the last one's 77. There's my 5-number summary. Now, just by giving you those 5 numbers, what can you tell me about about the spread of the data?
It's weird. It's even. It's not even.
Is it even?
No, it's just joking.
Or would you say there is the top 50%, because remember from here up to here would be the top 50%. Would you say that's very close as compared to the bottom 50%? Could agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Who's not too sure what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the same one?
Well, the difference between 73 and 77 is only 4, isn't it? Agree? The difference between these two is only 4. The difference between these two here is 21. So there's a big gap down the bottom, but it's very scrunched up during the top. Would you agree with that? Yeah, well, so would I. Now, so is that... so, that's the whole point of these, doing 5-number summaries. And there you go. There it is as box whisker plot, just like you said. The top half is really, really close together. That's 50% there. And this here is also 50%. There's a huge gap, isn't there? Really spread out. Can someone see the importance of seeing this, when you put these 5-number summaries, how you can display them and how you can actually make sense of what's going on? And the more important part is you've only got 5 numbers out of the total data. You don't need to see all the data to make an opinion. That make sense? All right. Sorry? What don't you get, Brittany? Well, Brittany, Brittany, that there represents what? That's the median, which means that's the dead set middle. Now, if this is drawn to scale, which it is because there's a nice number line at the bottom, that's the top number. Down here is the bottom number. So there, between there and there, this part here, right? If I can get my little arrowhead drawn, is 50% of all of my numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this from here down to there must also be 50% of all my numbers. So if 50% of all my numbers are up here, aren't those numbers got to be really, really close? Because it starts at 73 and finishes at 77. Half my numbers are between 73 and 77. All right? 73 and 77. Whereas the other half of my numbers are between 73 and 52. There's a big gap there. So I have equal numbers here as I have equal numbers there. So I must have a lot more around this area here, mustn't I? A lot more. They're squashed together. All right. All happy with that? All happy with that. Good. I'm glad to see that we're all happy with that. That's the median was in the centre there. Yeah. Okay. Now, last thing is that's about it. Now, so that's the beauty of these box whisker plots.